I'm Jess Dakotas.
And I'm Nick Koziel. Welcome to That Sounds Terrifying, the podcast where we share terrifying stories, we share listener experiences, and we visit virtually some of the most haunted places in the United States and the world.
Hello, That Sounds Terrifying crew. Thanks for joining us again.
We're back.
Yeah, exactly. It is officially spooky season, and I'm very excited. Um, Mostly, I'm very excited for the RMSC Carnival of Curiosities.
Yes.
Because Nick and I are going to be featured there, as we said before we left. And if you want to tell your story or write it down for us so we can tell it at that event, please reach out to us at thatsoundsterrifying@gmail.com, right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That
awesome. And
sounds terrifying at gmail.com.
do it. Do it. Reach right out to us or direct message us on any of our social media. While you're there, follow us. But it is a great opportunity to get your story heard in front of a live audience. And we're planning on live streaming this too. So there's going to
It'll
be
be fun.
a lot of different things that we're doing all about this awesome event that we are so privileged to been asked to be at. So,
I know, seriously, it's very exciting. Um, I do a lot of I do a lot of stuff with RMSC. I really love them and I love their mission and preserving so many vital parts of Rochester and, the history even before Rochester, like our Native American artifacts and things like that that deserve to be preserved. So absolutely check that out if you end up going to this event or any other, or just visit the museum during the day. It's a beautiful collection and it has a lot of because we talk about this here, it has a lot of energy to it. It
yeah.
really, really does. I can stand in there and you can feel that there's just a beautiful energy in
Yeah,
it.
for sure. All the people
Um,
coming through, all the artifacts that you were talking about, all those types of things are really, there, right?
mhm. Yeah, yeah. All those pieces are incredible. But okay, so today, as Nick tries to fill at his microphone,
Yeah,
he's
I
slowly
so
pulling his hand up.
yes. Well, I'm putting myself on mute because I have a little visitor here today and she
Oh,
needs stuff every now and then, but that's okay, right?
that's
So
okay.
we're gonna power through this with some stories and maybe get some interruptions. Maybe there'll be
Yeah.
scary interruptions like a little girl coming through my door right now.
Was just
But
talking about
yeah.
that, how I don't know, my kids are at that age where they're kind of creepy, where like in the middle of the night they come in and they stare at you in bed to like get you
Oh
to
my
like put
gosh.
them in your bed with you.
Yeah, my dad used to say that I did that all the time. And it was
Yeah.
like coming in and I would stare like I would stand like a half a foot from him and stare and just be breathing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
My poor
Yeah, that's
father.
Lana. But now Lana, she's now learned to like she goes around to her daddy's side and she knows not to wake mommy because I'll be like,
Yeah.
go to bed, go
Yeah.
back to your bed. So
Well,
she taps on daddy.
yeah. That's trained him well. You trained him well. But
Yeah.
like I had a friend growing up and his father was action in a war and he was telling me about you do not sneak up on my dad in any way. And
Yeah.
one time he and I think I was even there like but I didn't see it, but he like kind of surprised his dad in the hallway and his dad
Yeah.
like threw his arm around because he was like still half asleep. It was late at night and
Yeah.
literally his arm like broke part of the wall because like and he of course freaked out and said, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "You can't sneak up on me like that." He just switched
Yeah.
in the mode and yeah, yeah. Luckily, my parents weren't like that, so I just was creepy kid staring
You
at
were
them.
just creepy. Yeah, you weren't in
Yeah,
any imminent danger.
yeah. So, yeah, but we're really excited about the upcoming event. It's going to be cool to be live and have fans in the audience and also live streaming. So there's a lot of different ways that you all can tune in. And like just said, it's a treasure. So even if you're not from the Rochester area and you can't come to the event, if you ever come to our area, that's a place to definitely check out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
The Rochester Museum and Science Center. So cool.
yeah.
Um, okay, Nick. So I have a personal story and just a Reddit story, and you said you have a story as well.
Yep.
So, do you want to kick
I'll
us
get
off, or
us
do you want
kicked
me
off,
to?
and I've got
Okay.
a really short one, but it was
Okay.
creepy to me. And then I also have a longer one. So I'll start with the short one, and then we'll kind of go into some of your things, and maybe I'll finish off the long one. Does that sound cool?
Fabulous. I love
Awesome.
it.
It's like we planned this ahead of time.
We sure did. We always
Yes.
do.
All right. So I got this one from Reddit, and it was Real Ghost Stories. And like I said, it's really short, but here we go. My mom worked in an ICU, and this is her story. My mom had been a nurse for 45 years. She had got her first job in the hospital and spent most of her career at that same one. The old community hospital had been closed for about 15 years now, but everyone has their stories. The hospital itself was originally founded by poor handmaidens of Christ in the early part of the 20th century. While no part of the original building remains, there are still very old and creepy hallways in the bowels of the building. This event occurred in the late 70s when my mom was a young RN, having just moved there from New York after she married my dad. She had a patient one night that insisted that she be cleaned up, dressed, and that all of her belongings are packed up because she was leaving in the morning. My mom compiled, knowing full well that this woman wasn't going to be discharged. She was just way too sick. While my mom was bathing her and getting her dressed, she thanked my mom for all the care that she's and stated she won't be there when my mom returned in the evening because her husband was coming to take her home. My mom simply smiled, packed her things to get ready to go. And the next evening, when my mom returned to work, she learned two things. The woman had passed away shortly after her shift had ended, and that the woman's husband had passed away 7 years ago. So I just thought that was really kind of creepy to like kind of know that it was time, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that one, Jess?
It was creepy. You are correct. It was also very short and sweet.
Yep, told you it was short. But we get a lot of stories about like that, about seeing things, and there was a couple other ones that I might
Yeah.
share later in the season that I saw that had to do with seeing relatives or one that was kind of neat but really really long, and I'm gonna see if I can make it a little more concise about seeing other people's relatives but not their own.
Mm.
So it was interesting.
Seeing other people's relatives. Like,
Yeah,
aren't you Nick's great uncle Charlie?
it's kind of like why is your gram there, right?
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I guess if you're seeing
yeah.
a ghost and you're not related to him, you are seeing somebody else's relatives. It's,
Right. Unless you were switched at birth secretly.
or
You
it was
actually,
they're alive.
yeah, no, true. Ooh.
Ooh.
We don't have to put sound effects in this episode if
Do
Justin's
you
doing that.
actually? So do you guys remember do you remember the and do you folks listening, do you remember the ghosts in the 90s that would like shake and they go
Yes.
ooh, you know those? I'm obsessed with those and I
Yep.
wish that they still made them. I don't know why they don't still make them or like
No.
bring them back because they were so freaking cool and they lit up and I remember like we had one, it broke, we went and got another one.
Yep.
Like they broke easy but like they were
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody has a lead on where to get one of those. I've checked Etsy. They're not there.
You gotta go like eBay. You gotta go 90s old
Yeah.
school.
But I will sometimes just in the middle of conversation, usually around this time of year, which is with Evan, I'll be like,
Yeah.
ooh, just to be funny.
Well, I'll check with my mother-in-law because she has everything known to man when it comes to anything that makes sounds. So like
Ooh,
she has all the like, you go to the bathroom and there's like a snowman and it's like motion sensor. It's
yes.
creepy. Oh, it's just
Yeah.
like all of a sudden you're like, what the heck, man?
The
She's got
Hallmark
all those
jazz
things.
ones.
Yeah. Yeah, all of those things. And they're all like motion sensor going off everywhere. She has like a hummingbird that like the batteries are low, but every now and then it just like, or I don't know if it's a hummingbird, but it's a bird in a cage. All of a sudden it starts tweeting like we're talking and
Boo.
yeah, all right, all the same things.
Um, my
But I'll say,
parents are obsessed with those Hallmark snowmen, and
oh
so
yeah,
my mom has like a bajillion of those.
we have
A
some of those too. I'm
bajillion.
not gonna lie.
I went and bought like one or two when the kids were like super super little, just because like they
Mhm.
liked them at my parents' house. But I quickly realized, oh my God, I hate anything that like creates sound that I can't like.
And they move too.
off. Yeah, they do move. They're cute. They're very cute, but
Yeah.
I don't need a million of them, and I certainly don't need a million of them playing all at the same time. But the ghosts,
Yeah.
I do need a million of them, and
Yeah.
I do need them all to play at at the same
Well,
time.
anyone that has a lead on that, let us know.
Yeah.
'Cause we gotta fulfill this magical dream of
I
Jeff's to go
need
to her.
this. I
Yeah.
need
I
this.
need, just give me the, I need. My son had one of the Hallmark ones that was a puppy, and it went dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun, dun, and it just kept moving, and it was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, and he loved it, loved it. It was like constant. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But
funny.
ghosts, yeah, we got to get that.
Yes. Um, okay. So this will be a personal story, and I might cry because this has been a rough one for me. But over the hiatus in August, we lost my Lucy girl, my dog, my Shih Tzu. I still have my Momo. He's actually sleeping next to me, but unlike Lucy, he does not snore. So sometimes when I was on my podcast or my phone calls, people would be like, "What is that?" I'm like, "That's my dog. She's snoring," you know. Or I've Lucy's been on the podcast before too,
Yeah,
because there was that one day she wouldn't let me
yeah.
be without her. Um, but she was her kidneys were not doing great, and we had her on kidney diet and lots of water and only kidney treats and trying to do the best we could to manage it. And she was doing great. And then about the first week of August, she started to just be a little bit more, like she couldn't walk as much, but she was still eating. She actually had just like run up the hill to our house. And I was like, okay, she's good. I knew that we didn't have a lot of time, but I thought we had like more time than we
Hmm.
did. So we went on a trip to Martha's Vineyard, and she was doing great. She was eating, she was drinking, she was walking, tenderly walking, but like she was walking. Um, and as soon as we got there, she ate the first day, and then the second day she just went downhill. And she was like becoming like skin and bones. And she wouldn't eat. She wouldn't eat. They gave us, before that, they had given us medication for her. The whole thing kind of spiraled when she had like one of those little, you know how older dogs get those little benign cysts on their bodies. She had a big one on her foot and it got infected. And like, we had taken care of it, but it just got infected. So we took her to the vet. We got her an antibiotic shot. And that was about like a week before we were going to leave. So we were like, oh, 2 weeks before. And so we were like, well, she's okay right now. She was feeling much better. So we took her, not knowing that she wasn't doing that well. Um, and while we were there, she just stopped eating. She would drink a little bit, but she just wasn't doing well. So I took her to the vet there on the vineyard and found this great doctor who did like acupuncture and red light therapy and all these wonderful things. And she was very, very kind, knowing, she ran Lucy's blood right there. And because you're on an island, they have all their stuff right there. They can test the blood immediately. They can do all
Hmm.
that stuff. And Lucy's blood was just off the charts with her kidney numbers, just insane amount. And she was like, this dog should be dead. Like it shouldn't, she's like, this is such a high. I've never seen a number this high. And I was like, what? Like just, we had just had her blood taken like a month before and like they weren't great, but they weren't that bad.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering if the antibiotic shot, had something to do with that because, it's all got to get processed by the kidneys, but neither here nor there.
right.
Um, so Lucy in the following days was just really not doing well. During this time to like make myself feel better because we're, on vacation, we're trying to be, um, I would go for runs in the morning. And all of this area is very wooded where my in-laws have a house. And so I was running and every morning all I saw were just murders of crows, just
Mm,
everywhere. And I was like, this is a bad omen. Bad omen.
right.
Everywhere there's crows. And I'm like, I felt like darkness, darkness, like bad. And then in our room, my mother-in-law, she loves uh just like black accents on things in that house. So like it's a very bright, open, beautiful house, but like all the accents and all the pictures are black. It's cool looking.
Yeah.
But in our room, the walls are white, but there were these two pillows that had giant crows on them. And crows are a symbol of death, you know, you
Mhm.
associate them with death. And I was like, wow, like this is bad. We're gonna lose her. But I still had hope that I could like get her home, and the doctor was giving her fluids and everything, and keeping her during the day to like give her fluids and acupuncture and red light. We really lucked out with this doctor, this vet. She was amazing.
Mhm.
And so one day I was laying with Lucy, and I was not sleeping, but we were napping at one point just because that's what we did. And I kept hearing the name Anubis. Anubis, 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 Anubis. And I was like, what the hell does Anubis have to do with anything? I knew it was an Egyptian god, but I
Mhm.
had no idea what Anubis was or did. And so I was laying there, and this dog face man came into my conscience and like my consciousness, and was like essentially saying like he was the god of death, and he was gonna just, you know, help aid Lucy over. And at this point I was like, this is imminent. She's going to die. Like this isn't I'm not getting to bring her home. And when you're stuck on the island, like you're stuck because you can't you have to we have a car, so to get your car over on the ferry you have to have like a 6 month in advance appointment.
Mhm.
And they don't allow for standby anymore, so I was like, we're stuck here. So even if I wanted to bring her home I couldn't, which is what my original plan was.
Mhm.
But anyways, this god Anubis introduced themselves to me, and I was like, okay, like I understand, you know, I have to put her down. I can't let her suffer like this. This is crazy. I didn't want her to suffer. So I was talking to this entity in my head, and I don't believe in it. Like prior to this, I do not believe in like Egyptian gods or whatever it
Mhm.
is. Like I don't believe in these entities like that. You know, I just don't. And that's, you know, it never crossed my mind to. It never was something. I know who these. I know that there are Egyptian gods. I know there's
Yeah.
Greek gods. I know like there's stuff like that. But like to me, I was like, that's just what people believed back in the day. Whatever. Like I
Yeah.
don't have no whatever. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I must be going crazy. Um, and but I was just kind of like so sad and so close to this death of my very important family member. And I was just like, you know, okay, well, I said to this, whatever it was, the energy that was reaching out to me, I was like, I can speak to the dead. So when Lucy's on the other side, when you take her, can you just have her reach back out and talk to me? And this Anubis said back to me, he laughed. I saw him in my mind's eye, and he was beautiful, by the way. Like he had like this big long snout, and he was gray black, like almost
Mhm.
blue, shiny coat.
Mhm.
And he laughed, and I swear to God, I feel like I feel like my mental health needed some like something going on, because I was like, what is happening? Like, this is
Yeah.
weird. Like, you know, mediumship is already stigmatized, right? Like, it's
Sure.
just, you know, you're not talking to anybody, or I believe that you believe you're talking to somebody, you know, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. And maybe it was just me like comforting myself. Who the
Mhm.
hell knows? But I swear to God, I did not know that Anubis was the god of death. That's how he was introduced to me. And he laughed at me when I said, I speak to the dead. He said, I know that's how you're talking to me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Like, so now I'm an idiot and I'm proving myself I'm an idiot. Like, I don't, it was crazy. But like, I don't know how to like describe that without, I know I sound like an absolute nut, but it really happened. And whether it was literally just my psyche, like comforting me and, you know,
Mhm.
whatever, or it was an actual entity, I can't, I don't know. The only proof I have to myself is that I had no idea who Anubis was when he introduced himself to me.
Yeah.
But the more beautiful part of Lucy's death, which was truly awful. But sorry, told you I was gonna cry.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
Um, so we put her down and we were in this small room. There were no windows. There were two doors, they were closed. Um, and I told the vet, I said, I'm a little woo-woo and I am a medium. And she was like, "Oh, cool. That's cool."
Hmm.
She said, "Usually the dog's souls hang out for a little bit and then they go." I was like, "Cool."
This,
My biggest fear was that because Lucy was always with me, I didn't want her soul to stay with me. I wanted it to cross over.
hmm
So I think that that's, what I felt like Anubis was there for, to like make ensure that she crossed over. Um, but also I'd asked my grandma Jerry, to take her. I had been praying, like, please, grandma, be there for her, like take her. My grandma loved dogs and cats.
hmm
She loved them. Um, so we were all standing in the room, and when the medicine was administered, I saw and felt my grandma. There were four people in the room. It was me, Evan, the doctor, and the vet tech.
hmm
And he was like a big, tall man. Um, and when that was administered, I saw Lucy's soul, a gold light, like thread light, pull up out of her body. And I saw my grandma, who looked very young,
hmm
run in, like whoosh in, take Lucy. And I heard her say, "I got her, I got her, I got her." And then
hmm
all of a sudden, I saw Lucy with her beautiful little brown fur, looking like she was a puppy again. And my grandma holding her, and there were like woods behind them, and it was beautiful there. And she said, "I got her, I got her." But at the time that I saw my grandma rush in to grab Lucy, everybody in the room felt cold air. It got really cold in there.
hmm
And we all felt a whoosh. And I looked at Evan and I'm like, "Am I crazy? Did you feel that?" And he said, "I felt that." And the doctor said, "I felt that. I've never felt that before." And the vet tech was like, "I have goosebumps. I felt that too." So we all felt the
hmm
whoosh. Again, no windows. There's
Yeah.
two doors, but they're both closed.
Yeah.
It's an inner room too. It's in the middle of the building. There's no like outside door. There's no outside anything. It was just there. And it was the exact same time I saw my grandma and I said, "My grandma's here. My grandma's here." It was the most profound spiritual experience I've had to date.
hmm
Like, just I felt her. I knew she was there. And like, it was amazing. In such a horrible moment, it was a beautiful moment. Um, but it was really neat and everybody felt it. And I felt so validated in that piece.
hmm
I'm still not sure about this Anubis piece. It's real weird.
Yeah.
Feel weird kind of sharing it, but
hmm
but that piece, I knew.
hmm
I knew. Um, so I think the gates were open. They were open for my grandma to easily come and grab her because I had asked her to, and she did. And yeah, that's my
hmm
story.
Well, Jess, I'm sorry about your little baby, right?
Thanks.
But it the one, I guess, nice thing, like you're saying, it was a beautiful, tragic moment, but you kind of have that confirmation that she's okay, right?
Mhm.
And that you want for her not to be next to you and sticking around you and crossing
Definitely
over kind
don't.
of was right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Um, yeah, because I've heard stories of like ghosts getting lost if they
mhm,
lose people, or and
yeah,
honestly, I don't want my dogs or my animals, my loved ones, to be stuck
right,
or lost or scared.
yeah,
And she
yeah,
was always with me,
yeah.
always.
Well, it's good that you know that she's not, and she's in a great place. And until you guys, meet again, long, long, long time from now, that she's a young little pup again, right? That's awesome too. You know, it's interesting because you described that whoosh, right?
Hmm.
And there was one point where I think I know I've shared this on the podcast before, but when my grandfather passed away, um, I knew before the phone call for my mom
Hmm.
because I was there and I that's what I kind of felt like that a cold whoosh and it just
Yeah.
then it was a warmth inside of me, but
Hmm.
then as it exited it was cold again, right? And it
Yeah.
was like and I knew like you could almost like smell his cologne. You get like it was just I knew who
Yeah.
it was, and that's why I
Hmm.
knew. And then my mom got the call, you know. And then
Yeah.
I've also shared that about my like my dad having a visit from his relative, and
Mhm.
before the
Yeah.
call, right? So, um, but as tragic as it was, as you said, at least you have confirmation that she's
She
good.
was okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. She was okay. Um, it was awful. And, I wouldn't have taken her had I known she wasn't doing that well.
yeah,
I would never want my babies to suffer in that way. I didn't know. She just went downhill so fast.
yeah,
But I couldn't let her suffer a car ride home. I just couldn't.
yeah.
It wasn't going to happen. But I did rest easy knowing that doctor was doing everything she could to make her feel much
Right.
better.
Well, and you know what? That might have been what like fate or the powers that be set up for you. That like you
Yeah.
had this excellent vet that understood. It set up this moment and made her very comfortable. Maybe when you stayed at home, the comfort level wouldn't have been as high, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I kind of thought about that as well, just because our vet doesn't have any of that. And our vet is not woo-woo or anything,
Yeah.
but the vet at the end, she said, thank you for that beautiful moment. And she was like, she was like, it was so nice to meet you,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
was like, she was like, I wish it was better circumstances, but to meet you and to experience this was incredible. I was like,
Mhm.
thank you. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I'm
Yeah.
like bawling my eyes out,
Yeah.
sobbing. Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
But it was sweet too. And
Mhm.
yeah, I highly recommend if you're in Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, the vet there in Tisbury is amazing. Unfortunately,
Okay.
the name escapes me right
Well,
now because I'm
we
I'm
can put it in the
clouded by
notes if you want
sadness.
to, but there
Yeah,
can't
West
be too
Tisbury
many we
vet.
can't be too many vets on Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, yeah, there aren't that many, but the
Yeah.
West Tisbury one is
Yeah.
bar none, just
Okay.
lovely.
All right.
Um,
Well, thank you. And
yeah.
thank you for sharing that. I know that was not an easy story, so
No, it wasn't, but
appreciate it.
I actually wanted it um documented, in
Yeah,
some way. So, thanks for letting me do that.
of
And thanks for
course.
listening, everybody. I know now you're like, she's cracked, but I swear I'm a normal person. I just
Oh, I'm a normal person. Everything's fine. Look, there's a dog god in my head, and it's telling me that I'm here because, of course, you can see me. I
so
don't know why
weird.
it has that kind of accent in Egypt. That is definitely
It
not
did
an
it did
Egyptian
have an
accent.
accent. He did have an accent, but
Hmm.
it was like all just it was so strange. I
Hmm.
saw him talking and if I was
Yeah.
like, "Have I gone round the bend?" I just it was
Uh,
crazy.
yeah.
But I just don't
I
it
just
was
love that moment, actually, just to reiterate, where you're like, you know, Anubis, baby, I see dead people. And he's just laughing in your face.
Yeah. He was laughing at me. And Evan
Yeah,
laughed when I told him that
yeah,
because I told him like right away.
yeah,
I just said like I can talk to the dead. Can you just have her tell me she's okay?
yeah,
And I see this dog face laughing.
yeah,
Yeah, he laughed. And
yeah.
it was like it was weird. It was very weird.
See, even death has a sense of humor.
But I was not asleep. I was just
Yeah,
meditative, like just laying with Lucy, trying to enjoy these moments with her because I knew they were my last. And it was just weird. It was weird, but it was cool. And I, whatever that energy is, I do thank it for helping me and comforting me and coming to me and telling me like,
yeah,
she's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Death is a part of life. It just is. But I mean, if you have to have some strange entity visit you, at least it's a nice one. It's like, hey, I'm the god of death, but
mhm,
like, but it's not a bad thing. Um, but it was interesting. The whole thing was interesting. The crows, the darkness, the the entity, and then my grandma, like
mhm,
rounding it all out, rounding it all out,
yeah,
just in a very profound period. But yeah, all good. I do miss my girl though.
mhm,
Mhm.
yeah.
So moving on, do you want to tell your story and then I'll
Sure.
tell a Reddit story so I can like
Yeah, so we
regain
can,
my
yeah. All
my
right.
nose faculties.
Right. So, okay. So this next one is from Real Ghost Stories, the Reddit thread. The name of the the name of the submitter is I underscore C underscore dead underscore people. And it's called him.
So I see dead people.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was a little girl, Grandma's house was our safe haven. If Mom and Dad were fighting, we were at Grandma's. If a hurricane was coming, Grandma's. Any kind of trauma, stress, act of God, we were at Grandma's. Spent a lot of time at Grandma's. She had a neighbor that had a little girl about my age named Maria. We'd either play in my grandma's yard or in the lot between their homes. There was also this boy who was always around. He wore blue jeans, a black t shirt, one tennis shoe on the right foot, a white hat flipped backwards. His white hat was splattered with rusty maroon red, and his face was a little deranged on the left side, exposed inner jaw and dry blood around his nose where his cheeks were supposed to be. His eyes and ears were bloody, his clothes were torn on the left side of his body, and his left leg was mangled and bloody. You could literally see black holes and craters in his leg. I was
Ooh.
always very taken aback when I would see him hanging around. I only saw him when Marie and I were playing. He would sit on the porch and watch us, or on his bicycle under the tree and watch us. But no matter what, he was always watching us. I ran into Maria a few months ago. We recall playing in the yard and drawing with sidewalk chalk and riding our bikes and playing school bus. We were smiling and laughing, but the mood suddenly changed when I asked her if she remembered the creepy boy that was always hanging around. She said no and asked me what he looked like. So I described him in detail and for as much as I could remember, and she goes pale. And it sounds like I'm describing her dead brother on the day he died in a motorcycle accident. My skin pops with goosebumps from head to toe. She tells me she add me on Facebook and send me a picture of her brother later that night. The photo she sent showed a young man in blue jeans, a black shirt, a white hat flipped backwards, and white shoes on a motorcycle, hours before he left for a road trip that he died on. When he was hit, his bike flipped over on the left, and an 18-wheeler dragged him and his motorcycle 150 yards before coming to a stop. The whole left side of his body was destroyed, and he lost his left shoe in the accident. It was never recovered. The family identified the body, collecting his belongings, and had a closed casket because of it. Weeks later, Marie and I were hanging out the house. I thought I saw him pass by the living room window. Marie is telling me about how protective he was and how much he loved her, how much she wishes she knew he was still watching over her. We laugh, we cry, and remember all the good times. I walked her to the car and then said goodbye, and when I go to hug her, I stop dead in my tracks. He is in her car, in the passenger seat. He looks directly at me. I stand still and stare. Marie asked me what's wrong. I lifted my hand and gave him a small wave of the hand. He gives me a half smirk and a smile, gives me a wave back. Maria says, What? What are you looking at? I tell you, it's him. He is still watching over you. He's in the passenger seat of your car. She thinks I'm messing around with her, starts to get upset with me, and says, Well, what is he doing if you can see him? He's doing the I love you sign in sign language and then signs to the moon, then back infinity. I tell her, and she breaks down crying and says she believes me because when her brother was teaching her sign language before he died, it was the very first thing he taught her. I love you to the moon, then back infinity. I've seen Maria 2 more times since then, and I'm always less taken aback now when I see him, Jose, her brother, who is always with her.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
Yeah.
But also that writer has the ability to see spirit.
Yeah, it's a good name. I see dead people.
Yeah,
So,
I guess they do.
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they see other dead people. That's interesting.
Yeah. We'll have to look the user
Um,
up a little bit and see if there's other stories and maybe, like
yeah,
that
yeah,
one or
click on that name and
yeah.
see.
Save it. More stories.
Message them.
Message them. Get them on the show, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that'd
Yeah.
be great. I'm sure
Yeah.
they have a lot of stories if they
Yeah.
see dead people.
If that's their username, then probably.
Hmm. Um, yeah, that's interesting. Um, so I wonder though, like part of me was wondering in that story, oh, he's always there protecting me, and I'm like, but only when you're around. So
Yeah. Maybe his
So
crush.
what nefarious, well,
Yeah.
what nefarious like things is the OP doing that
Oh,
that Maria needs to be protected from?
yeah. Yeah. Fun.
She's like, I'm just
Um,
kidding.
yeah, no, I
I
know.
just,
I just thought as another like, weird coincidence that I chose that story. We don't talk again beforehand, and you're talking about your story, and it's not exactly the same, but you were talking
sure.
about different things and crossing over and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, um, I took it took a long time to find good stories this time around. But I thought that one was very interesting and kind of reassuring. But I kind of wish that the guy got to appear kind of like your story where he was young and
Mm,
still good looking and
healthy.
not right,
Yeah.
like like a good puppy or your young grandma, stuff like that. So
The only thing I can think of is that he didn't cross over in
yeah,
order to be with his family.
yeah. And
But
that's actually another reason why I was thinking this is such a parallels your story. Like that was
yeah,
what you didn't want, right?
that's what I didn't
And
want.
you explained that before you even heard my story.
Yeah,
So
I had no idea.
yeah,
Yeah. Crossover, folks. Just
yeah,
when it's your time. I hope it's a long, long time from now. But go to the light, and then you'll be able to be with your family and watch over them in that way. But like, yeah, don't stick around.
you don't
It's
get stuck.
scary and dangerous. Um,
Anubis, come and take them to the right place.
yeah, yeah, ooh. Yeah, just don't tell me about it because I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I need some mental help now.
We all do need that too.
Yeah. Just,
Even
I
on our
still,
best days, there are moments, right?
um, all right, I have one last story.
Sure. Shoot.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is by Weekend Bitter 9941 on Reddit.
I'm not
They're a top
bitter.
1% poster.
Oh, wow.
Um, this is called I Think I Might Have Accidentally Been My Own Ghost 17 years ago. Okay, buckle up because this is equal parts creepy and ridiculous. That's what the OP said, not me. Back in college, my classmates and I had an overnight group session at one of our friends' houses to finish a case study for presentation. It was past midnight, and everyone else was in the dining area, and I was alone in the bedroom typing away on my laptop. Suddenly, from my peripheral vision, I saw something. Not just a shadow, an entity. Think Sudeiko vibes, long hair covering the face. But here's the weird detail. The hair wasn't jet black like in horror movies. It was dry, frizzy, and this brown copperish color. Exactly like this overprocessed, damaged hair you'd see after too many bleach sessions. I could still picture it clearly split ends, fried texture, the works. She was behind me, slightly leaning like she was looking over my shoulder at the screen, but I couldn't see her face, just her hair. And it lasted maybe a second. Blink, and she was gone. I froze. Then I bolted straight to the dining area, shaking, and told my classmates I saw something. Instant, quote, creepy overnight ghost story, end quote, for that night. And then life moved on. I forgot about it. Until today. Fast forward 17 or 18 years later. I'm brushing my ash blonde hair, getting ready to go to my favorite salon for my treatment because my hair is dry AF after a recent touch up. I'm looking in the mirror inspecting the damage when it hits me like a horror plot twist. WTF? Was it me? Like, did I time travel? Was that ghost actually future me, fried hair and all, looking over my own work on the laptop? Was I just critiquing myself from the future? The hair color matches. The frizz matches. The only thing missing is the ability to astral project again, which I could do back then, but that's another story. So yeah, either I saw a ghost or I'm destined to become I'm destined to become one for a split second 17 years in the past. Guess I'll find out once I learn to time travel or remote view or maybe just invest in better conditioner. I thought that was kind of funny to like
Yeah.
lighten the mood just in case it got
Yeah.
real dark.
Like it, yeah, that was. It was a good one. The ghost of hair products past.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like my split ends are haunting me. That
Oh,
is a nightmare.
sounds like a really bad Revlon commercial.
It really does. Yeah. Um, those commercials, I don't even know what they are. They the Aussie ones? And they're like, we've been working at the wrong end of
Yeah.
hair this whole time. And I'm like, so you were the hair experts and you were working at the wrong end of hair.
We
But
don't know what we're doing, but
yeah,
now we do. Buy
yeah.
our product.
So now you have to buy it because we
Yay.
finally figured it out, even though we've been selling it for 25 years.
We're just gonna turn it over. There. It's the right
Yeah.
end now.
Like, what are you talking
No,
about?
it's
And also,
like
which is the right end now? Should I be
it's like
conditioning my
don't rub
my
the
split
product
ends?
into your hair, you rub it into your skin.
Yeah, at your feet.
Yeah, at your feet. And it absorbs up. But you gotta
Yeah.
go upside down.
It's like garlic. Did you ever
Yeah.
hear like for a cold you rub garlic on your feet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that.
Fine, yeah, fine. If that works for you, fabulous. But I don't. I think I'll keep my conditioner on my head.
Yeah.
But I do know not to put it like at your scalp or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess that gets it funky. So you
Yeah.
just do it at your split ends. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. My hair is
Oh, I've
curly,
been doing it
curly.
wrong. You can see.
Yeah, it's wrong. You're doing it wrong. And
Oh,
we found the solution to all your
yeah.
problems, Nick. It's
It's
a
doing it wrong the whole time.
conditioner.
The wrong side. Working at the wrong side of it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're looking at the wrong end of hair. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
So, well, I think it's about that time, Joss.
It is about that time. So don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Hopefully I didn't freak too many people out that away from me. But just subscribe to the podcast, rate us 5 stars. If you don't think we're 5 stars, well then booty you. And you can still listen every time we put out a new podcast. Yeah, exactly. Ooh.
Yeah.
So whether it is they have those jalapeno shots
Hmm.
that, yeah. So I was thinking about ghost peppers. Might follow me here. Follow me down the
Yeah.
line here. Ghost peppers, jalapeno vodka. So whether it is a jalapeno shot or ghosts, keep your spirit up.